everyone, my name is Krista, and I want to show you in this tutorial how to use CoGrader's chat feature to make adjustments to the feedback it provides students. So this screen should look familiar to you. It is just the default feedback that CoGrader gives students based on this rubric. So we have the summary, the glow, the grow, the think about it, and then the specifics for this rubric. Now, down here at the very bottom, you can see that there are some little messages you can use and send in the chat to change the feedback that is given to students. Now, let's say you look at this and you go, I know that this student is not going to read all of this feedback. You know that you need to make it a little bit shorter. Rather than going in here and making the changes yourself, you can just click Make It Shorter. So you can see how long this is right now. And I'm going to go ahead and send that in the chat, and CoGrader has made it shorter. It still includes all of that important information, all of that critical feedback to students, but it just makes it a little bit shorter, and I feel like this student is more likely to read this feedback now. You can also use the chat in a few different ways too. Let me show you. So note down here, it says specify what CoGrader should change in this single essay. So I wanted to make just that one shorter, but let's imagine you have a class of students who are a little bit sensitive to that critical feedback. You might want to click Be Friendlier, and then as that works on making the language a little bit friendlier, what you will do when it is finished making those adjustments is you will click Regrade All. And this will regrade all of the essays with that friendlier tone. So you can make adjustments to just single essays, or you can make adjustments to the whole entire class. Now, you are not limited to these 4 options up here in the chat. You can actually include anything that you want. Now, this is a really funny one that you can use if you want your students to laugh and maybe cringe a little bit. So down here, I just typed use Gen Alpha slang. I'm going to go ahead and ask CoGrader to regrade this all using that Gen Alpha slang. All right, so let's take a look at what it changed. So some of the changes it made are your personal and authentic voice is fire. Your reflection on the experience is pretty solid. To make it even more Sigma, dive deeper into how this moment shifted your understanding. So you can see that that kind of feedback is going to make students laugh for sure, but it's also going to make sure that they read the feedback because it's so funny and a little bit cringy too. So you can use this chat feature to do a ton of different things to help you out as you are getting students to read the feedback that CoGrader provides. So I encourage you to play around with the chat feature and really make the feedback exactly what you want it to be for your students. And finally, one more thing you can use the chat feature for is, let's say you don't like one of the rubric categories. You just don't need it. You don't think students need to focus on it. You can just go ahead and type in the category that you want deleted. And so you can see that category right here on the rubric. And if I say remove detail and description, then CoGrader will remove that category for you. And if you play around with the chat and you make a bunch of changes and you decide you really just don't like them and you want to revert back to the default feedback, you can just come up here and click revert, and yes, it will revert all of the changes that you made in that chat. So that is how you can use the chat feature to really tailor the feedback to suit you and your students' needs. Remember, CoGrader is a tool to help you, so use all of the features to create the absolute best, most authentic feedback for your students. I hope that helped. Until next time.